Good evening, I'm Taylor Toole with a look at your news making headlines tonight. In Lafayette, one child is dead and two officers critically injured after an early morning officer-involved shooting. Tonight we're hearing reaction from those calling the area their home. Plus, funeral arrangements for fallen Deputy Marshal Barry Giglio have been set. Tonight we learn more on the plans to lay the Acadiana hero to rest. And turning now to weather, meteorologist Bradley Benoit has a look at your weekend forecast.
Hey Taylor, well, more record-setting heat across Acadiana today. We'll talk just how hot it got, plus how long is this heat wave expected to last. For weather details coming up.
Live from the KATC TV3 studios, this is Acadiana's News Channel at 6.
Good evening and thanks for choosing Acadiana's News Channel at 6. I'm Taylor Toole. Starting tonight in Lafayette, where two Lafayette police officers are critically injured and one child is dead following an early morning shooting. State police say it happened on the 100 block of South General Marshall Street when LPD was responding to a dispute around 2 a.m. According to state police, the suspect involved opened fire on police, one officer returning that fire. During the shootout, troopers say 3 victims were struck by stray bullets. According to LSP, the suspect is currently in custody receiving medical treatment. Tonight we hear from one woman who lives down the street from where it all happened.
I think it's sad, I'm all for the police. They serve and protect. They're doing their job. I think it's sad,
And in St. Martin Parish early this morning, state police responding to another fatal crash involving 2 vehicles on State Highway 328. Troopers say it took the life of 36-year-old Carrie Lynn Barra of Breaux Bridge, who was driving around 5 a.m. when she crossed the center line for reasons still being investigated, hitting an SUV head-on. Barra, who was not wearing a seatbelt and is suspected by investigators to have been impaired, was pronounced dead on scene. And in Vermilion Parish, a teen is dead following a July 29th crash. State police say 14-year-old J.C. Guidry of Gaydon was riding in a pickup truck on LA 713 with 22-year-old Justin Falk of Kaplan, who was intoxicated. Troopers say no one was wearing a seatbelt when the pickup ran off the road into a ditch, overturning several times and ejecting Guidry, seriously injuring 2 other passengers. Guidry died from her injuries Friday, and according to LSP at last check, the other passengers remain in the hospital. Falk is in jail with charges expected to be upgraded in the future. And St. Mary Sheriff's Department, along with the State Fire Marshal's Office, with boots on the ground, responding to a residential fire on Jupiter Street in Bayou Vista. Authorities say it happened just after 8 this morning. The scene there on your screen, courtesy of KQKI radio station. An injured person found outside the home was quickly taken to the hospital, but it's after putting out that blaze that officials say they found 2 people dead inside the home. The investigation is currently ongoing. And in St. Landry Parish, a 3rd arrest in connection with videos surfacing on social media showing the apparent mistreatment of children at a local daycare. Chastity Guillory now joins Caitlin Doucet in the parish jail on 6 counts of principled cruelty to juveniles. Eunice police confirming to us that the 2 are former employees of the Pumpkin Patch Daycare. Last week, another former employee, Alyssa Dupree, was arrested on the same charges. The videos show slices of cheese being thrown on the faces of children in high chairs, making them cry, while staffers are seen laughing on. In these videos, a child could also be seen taped to a chair.
Here's Bradley's 24-hour forecast.
All right, well, we got up to 102 in Lafayette this afternoon. That's broke the old record of 101 that was set way back in, get this, 1896. So another scorching day in Acadiana. Most of us holding in the upper 90s to right around 100 degrees at the top of the hour. Still feeling like 115, so it's going to be slow to cool this evening if you are heading out. But pretty quiet conditions. We're not expecting any sort of shower activity. Again, we're going to be in the 90s over the next couple of hours, eventually dropping into the 80s after sunset and slowly falling through the 80s overnight tonight. We'll be right around 80 degrees first thing tomorrow morning, and then here we go, another day of high heat to round out the weekend. 101 is your projected high, and that would beat the old record of 99 that was set back in 1926, and your rain chance is no better than 5%. More record-setting heat in that forecast. In fact, it is looking very, very hot as we head into next week as well. We'll talk those temperatures, and I'll have the complete TrueView forecast coming up in just a bit.
And with that summer heat, Bradley, LEUS officials are asking those living in the cities of Youngsville and Broussard to put a pause on any activities leading to high water consumption. This comes as the company reports the high demand for water impacts water pressures. According to a spokesperson for LEUS, this will help stabilize local water systems, ensuring there is enough clean water for everyone. And wrapping up earlier today, the second annual Back to School Bash hosted by the Breaux Bridge Housing Authority. There you could find free school supplies and backpack giveaways, but also educational tools and behavioral health services for students. For middle and high school students interested in a medical career, suturing workshops were also offered.
And also what we did this year is we focused more on careers and occupations. So we had different stations with doctors, dentists, veterinarians, chef, every occupation you could imagine.
And for a full list of all those back-to-school events across Acadiana, just head over to KATC.com. And back in St. Martin Parish, a school at the center of a decades-old desegregation case can reopen its doors for some students in the 2024 to 2025 school year. A federal judge ruling Catahoula Elementary can open for students in pre-K through first grade only. Second through fifth graders are required to attend St. Martinville Primary School. Students zoned to attend the Early Learning Center will continue to attend that school as well. And the decades-old desegregation case alleges the St. Martin Parish School District did not do enough to desegregate as demanded by the U.S. Supreme Court's decision in Brown versus the Board of Education. And still to come on TV3 right here at 6, former President Donald Trump back on the campaign trail. His first stop, a fundraiser in Alabama. Find out what he has to say about his indictments.
And more big-time heat in that 10-day forecast. We'll take a look at it coming up after the break.